Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
Here we are.
Here
Live.
we are.
Back again.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome. How you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic. It's the weeks seem to fly by, so getting geared up for some things that are coming up in the sci-fi world. So
That, it's going
Things
to be
are
a
good.
busy few weeks.
yeah,
coming up.
it's gonna be, which is good for us.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
sure.
hey, I'm liking the Trekcast
the hood,
beanie.
the beanie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, Daniel's wearing a really cool Trekcast beanie that I'm assuming you can get at the merch section at Trekcast.com.
Yep.
Okay, good way to support the show and
Absolutely.
show off your love of Trekcast.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I've gotten back into writing more lately, and for whatever reason, when I write, I wear a beanie cap.
You're putting your thinking cap on.
Yeah, I put my thinking cap on, literally.
That's
So
awesome.
the beanie's been worn a lot lately.
Love it.
Yeah. What have you been up to? Oh, there he goes. Look at that.
Oh yeah, I'm having some technical difficulties.
Oh no, we've lost the Strongbeard. Well, hopefully he'll come back. I will monitor the situation. In the meantime, oh, there he is. Now he's back.
Yeah, I'm having some technical difficulties. I have to reset if you don't mind carrying the show
Okay,
for
I'll start the news.
45 seconds. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thanks.
All right, so in the meantime, we're going to get right to Star Trek news.
Star Trek news.
All right, so our first news story coming up right now is from Collider. So let me bring this up so everyone can check that out. Basically, we are learning a little bit more about Star Trek Legacy. The actor who played Jack Crusher, there he is right there, Ed Spleers. I can never pronounce his last name. He says that Star Trek Legacy will happen if fans are noisy about it. He says he has heard a lot of the internet buzz about Legacy and how people are excited for it and hoping for it to actually come to fruition. But right now, it is not happening, allegedly. So we'll see. But he does say that they have heard a lot of the chatter. He wants it to happen. He says he loves playing that character. He said, what is the quote right here? I feel like I have so much to offer with him being Jack Crusher. And I really, really hope and want to believe that I get the chance at some point. So yeah, he would love to do that. He would love to be Jack Crusher again. I know a lot of us are really excited for Star Trek Legacy and hoping that it comes to fruition. But with that in mind, let's get... Oh, there he is. Strongbeard's
Here
back.
I am. Here I am.
So we're just talking about Star Trek Legacy.
Caught most of it, yeah. Let's all make some noise.
You know, that's what they're saying. Speaking of Star Trek shows, so I'll just kind of bounce around from what I originally wanted to do, but that's fine because this kind of flows. So we are learning a little bit more about another Star Trek show, and we're learning about Star Trek Academy. So according to Alex Kurtzman, who was recently interviewed at South by Southwest, that festival going on, he says you can expect Star Trek Academy not airing until 2026. He says they are currently building the sets, and those sets are massive. It's going to take another 6 months of shooting and about 6 to 8 months of post work. So about 2026 is when we can expect Academy. He did also say that they're expecting to shoot towards the end of the summer. So by then we can get probably cast announcements. Chazbin's saying boo already. Yeah. So people are excited. It's funny. Dan pointed this out when he saw a post for Star Trek Academy, and the comments were nearly filled with "Give us legacy." And I have noticed that in other areas too, even on official Star Trek posts about Academy. It's just, we want legacy. Please give us legacy. So
yeah, I mean, we're reading a dead horse here, but
for sure.
everybody wants legacy. Everybody wants it set in, 2401 or 2402. That's what we want. We want these characters, and I think a lot of people want this timeline. We want the next
100%.
generation timeline.
100%.
So, but
yeah. That's the timeline we want. So we'll see. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. All right. Then our next news story comes to us from Joe Blow. This is kind of interesting. But apparently, according to a Roddenberry executive who was interviewed, Paramount says they have a plan for Star Trek movies. For those of you listening, I put "a plan" in air quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what have they been doing all this time?
Yeah. When I posted this story in the Facebook group, I put, did they not have a plan before?
Apparently not. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So apparently Paramount is very intent in coming out with a Star Trek movie. They've had plenty of shows, so they really think it's time to be back in the box office. And so they're working on something, and there's a lot of logistics, to get out of the way. Like, I don't know, maybe a story and the script and
Those things.
the cast and
unimportant.
directors.
Unimportant.
Yeah.
They'll get
details.
to those eventually.
Yeah. So we have no idea what the film would be about, because they don't even know. When they say they have a plan, it's really hard for me to believe, not because of everything we've seen, but because of the fact that Paramount is for sale, and they're literally knocking on the door of everyone saying, "Will you please buy us?"
It also puts the future of Star Trek in jeopardy too.
Yeah.
When its parent company sort of is on for sale, and
yeah.
there's a lot of unknowns.
There's too many unknowns to be really confident about this. Like, I don't doubt that they themselves have a plan. Well, we want to make a movie by this date, and we're working on it. Sure, I don't doubt that. But when you're trying to sell yourself, all those plans go right out the window the minute that sale finishes.
Right, and they're talking about having plans like, oh, we're going to do this next year in 2026, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit when I talk about the rewatch. But they didn't know what they were doing. 5 years ago, they had zero clue what was going to happen right now.
Right.
Like they didn't even plan for what was happening right now. So them telling us they got plans for 2, 3, 4 years from now, I don't.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I'll believe it.
Jazz was just saying he wants a Star Trek popcorn bucket. What would it be? Would it be a shuttlecraft? Because the Enterprise is too.
Yeah, a shuttlecraft makes the most sense, I think.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yep.
And then our last news story comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter. This, I think, was kind of interesting, because I don't think we've seen too many sequels in Black Mirror, but according to the Hollywood Reporter, Black Mirror in season 7 will do a sequel to the USS Callister. If you remember this episode, it was like one-off episode, which kind of Black Mirror, every episode is a one-off. Kind of Star Trek loosely based.
Right.
Yeah. So it should hit next year, is what they're saying. It's
now,
TV
for
show.
those of us who didn't watch Black Mirror, I'm not saying me. I'm saying there might be an audience member or two who haven't. Did you watch Black Mirror? And if so, could you give us a little? Yeah. So
synopsis? We reviewed it. It's one of our past episodes. Black Mirror is kind of like the modern day. I don't know. It's very much in the vein of Twilight Zone, that kind of show.
Okay.
So each episode is its own thing. They do not connect. They're what they call an anthology series.
Gotcha.
And so a few years ago, they did a Star Trek style show. It was called the USS Callister. it had a bunch of actors now that you would go back and be like, oh, that guy's in there.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't remember the whole premise of the episode, but I do remember thinking it was pretty good. I know we did review it, so you can go listen to our review. Yeah, Ty J is saying it's really dark. That is true. I do remember it being, but most of Black Mirror
What's up,
is
Ty
really
J?
dark. Yeah, most of Black Mirror is very, very dark. So
Okay.
but yeah. So that should be hitting Netflix sometime next year. So
I'll check that out.
yeah, more Star Trek. It's pretty cool. Definitely not for kids. Kind of like the movie we reviewed.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's all the news stories.
All right.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I've got something I'd like to bring up.
Yeah, go for it.
So I have been doing a rewatch of Star Trek Discovery, and so far I'm about halfway through season 2. So it's been on in the background, and I've been, while I'm working out and while I'm on my lunch at work and stuff like that. So I've been kind of powering through them. They're fairly long episodes, varying from like about 45 minutes to about almost an hour long. The first season was 15 or 16 episodes. The second season is like 14 or 15 episodes. So they get progressively shorter. But so I just wanted to note a couple things about the rewatch. Number one, I am enjoying the rewatch more than the initial run.
Okay.
So I think it's because some of the shocking things that I sort of hit me the wrong way the first time, like the Klingons and some of the storyline, are not so egregious to me the second time around.
Yeah, because the shock is out of there.
The shock, yeah, it's out of my system, and I'm just able to focus on the storylines. I'm finding myself stopping and rewinding to catch certain lines of dialogue because I care what they're saying, and I care a little bit more about the storyline this time around, and I'm getting a little bit more out of it. I'm obviously I'm understanding the characters a little bit more the second time around, and so it's better the second time around. I'm halfway through season 2, so we're not quite sure who the Red Angel is at this point. We have been introduced to Spock. He's gone crazy. So I'm really loving one of the characters that I'm liking a lot more the second time around is Giorgio, Emperor Giorgio. She is the first time I just hated her because she was she was like the bad guy. But this time around, I'm understanding sort of the depths of her character and why if the showrunners wanted Giorgio there, why they chose that version of her instead of the primeline version of her, because Emperor Giorgio is much more interesting than Captain Giorgio.
Right.
So
Ty J says that he did a rewatch last year, and that the first 2 seasons are a masterpiece compared to what follows.
Well, yeah, I'm debating whether or not. See, here's the thing too.
Yeah.
The first season of Discovery came out in 2017.
Yeah.
So it was a long time ago. There were half of the episodes I had only vague recollections of.
Right.
Part of the reason why I'm enjoying the rewatch is it's kind of like watching a new Star Trek series because I don't remember half of these. Either because I tuned them out or I wasn't all that interested, or I remember the first couple episodes, but after that it was kind of a blur. And I'm really enjoying the rewatch because I'm remembering the episodes and actually caring. But one of the things that I'm doing while I'm rewatching the season 1 and 2 is I've also gone back and I'm re-listening to Trekcast, the corresponding Trekcast episodes, and from 5 years ago, and I have a couple of notes here.
Yes, that's right. Go for it.
So
I can't wait for this.
Yeah. So a couple of highlights from Trekcast. Now, Trekcast, The Next Generation, when you guys took over, was around the same time that Discovery started. Do I have the
Yeah, it kind
timeline
of
sort of?
coincided. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of coincided. So you weren't doing an episode by episode. Uh, you were kind of recapping like parts of seasons back then. Um, and a couple of notes was number one. Chad said many times, the writers of Discovery are, and I quote, geniuses. So I don't know how well that aged.
Right.
There was a discussion in which you, Daniel, gave Dan and Chad a lesson in quantum physics with a side dose of relativity.
See. Yes.
You guys were talking about space travel, and you went into this. You put your Professor Daniel hat on, and you were explaining quite well, I might add.
All right.
General
I'm surprised
relativity.
by this, but okay.
Yeah, general relativity, some quantum physics, and you were sort of explaining E equals MC squared to us.
That's
that
right.
was
My
great.
favorite rapper.
Yep.
MC squared. Yeah.
But probably my favorite thing that aged so well
I can't wait.
was Dan's
Yes.
impersonation of Starfleet Captain Donald Trump.
Oh God.
Absolutely amazing. So if you haven't seen it in a while, or you just started listening to Trekcast, if you just started listening to Trekcast within the last like 6 months or so, there was a period 5 years ago that didn't have Scott, and it had Chad, Dan, and Daniel. And if you're doing it, especially if you're doing a disco rewatch, go back to the corresponding time. Go back to the time index of whatever show you're watching, and re-listen or rewatch Trekcast. There's some gold nuggets in there, boy.
Nice.
Also, your guys' predictions for the direction that Discovery was going to go.
Yeah.
It made me feel like I was in the year 2015 and watching Back to the Future Part 2 for the first time.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It was just it was great.
We wanted it to be good.
Yeah, it was loved it. As is with any time you're trying to predict the future. Sometimes you get a little bit of it right, and then sometimes you just obviously you're going to get it comically off. And I love the predictions. They're fantastic predictions.
That's how we do them.
And if they had gone in any of those directions, it would have been great. One of the things that I found funny was predictions that were from the studio. I just listened to an episode the other day where you did a news story where they were like, I think this is late 2017 or early 2018, and you're like, oh yeah, they're in pre-production for Section 31, and it's probably going to come out next year.
Because that's what they kept telling us.
And it's like, yeah, I got news for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Section 31 is going to be our Black Adam, where you just constantly hear about it.
It's just constantly, we're going to constantly have news stories about it. Then someday it may or may not come out, but
it'll come out eventually.
That's my recap of that. And if especially for people like Chad, if Discovery put a bad taste in your mouth, and for Dan, a rewatch. I know that Dan's actually doing the rewatch right now.
He is,
So I'm curious to hear what his opinions are about it. But I just got one more thing. I wanted to do a little show and tell. I saw in the Facebook group the gentleman that lives in New York, Duvall.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it was him. He posted something. He said, I just picked this up from Target and I had to get it. This is I'm holding this up. If you can't see this, I'm holding up a small toy model of the Enterprise D that I got from Target after seeing a post from Duvall. He said he got it from Target, and I really like this. This thing only cost me $25.
Oh, nice! It looks great.
It's got a little Starfleet stand.
Oh, nice.
It's not the most well put together thing. It's kind of cheaply made, but for and it does little sound effects.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and it does It does the voice of Captain Picard and Commander Riker. And
Oh, that's cool.
the reason why I got it, the thing that I like about it the most is it actually separates.
Oh, that's dope.
And when it does, the sound effect that it makes, and it's also got lights, the sound effects that it makes is the undocking sequence.
Oh.
So it actually has the sound effect of the docking sequence. So yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
yeah. So if I was expecting when I went onto the Target website or eBay or whatever, I was expecting it to be, because sometimes I've seen these and they'll sell them for like $400 just because they can, because some of us are foolish enough to spend $400, and I thought there's no way this is going to be like a regular priced thing, and it was like $40 on clearance for 23 plus shipping.
Oh wow.
And so if the Enterprise D little model, it's about a little bit smaller than the old Playmates model Enterprise.
Yeah.
Because when I first saw it in the box, I thought maybe they'd use the same mold. They didn't. It's a completely different process.
I was wondering when this would happen. Tajay's like, that's a little D.
It's the little D. Yep.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm not going to confirm or deny whether I flew this around my house making sound effects yesterday. I can't confirm or deny that.
Know only.
That's for absolutely. So yep.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got it. I think I may need to get one myself then.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's head on to our supplemental spotlight. This is going to be an interesting one, folks. So here we go. All right. So we wanted to do something kind of Star Trek-ish. And so we took a look at a film. It's called MKUltra. It does star Anson Mount, aka Captain Pike. So that's kind of the stretch that it's Star Trek related, because he's in it. This film was originally released in 2022. According to Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 93% audience score, and that's with 220 audience member ratings. So this is a film based on a true story about the MK experiments that the government did in the 60s and 70s. It was on Amazon Prime. If you have a Prime account, I think it is part of the membership on there, so you can just watch it.
Yep.
What did you think, Scott?
It was interesting. It's a psychological thriller. Like you said, it's based on the experiments they did back in the 60s. Have you ever heard those stories about the government experimenting with LSD and other psycho whatever drugs to, kind of control people and that kind of thing? It's based on that. It's loosely based on a true story about it. And it's, like you said, it stars Anson Mount as the head scientist that sort of gets sucked into this world of government, CIA, undercover kind of world. It's a trippy film, and I think that's an apt word.
Yeah, and I think that's part of what they were going for, to make it feel like you were on acid,
right?
As you're watching this,
Yeah. It's weird. I think it's kind of almost weird watching it sober.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't advocate drug use, but if you're already into that,
it's definitely not one for children.
No.
A surprising amount of nudity throughout the film.
There is a lot of nudity. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
Neither. Yeah.
Oh. A lot of drug use, obviously.
Drug use. We have to say based on a true story, kind of, because a lot of that stuff is classified. I mean, some has been declassified, but even the lead character, Anson Mount's character, Dr. Strauss, there's no verification that I could find that was a real person.
That's interesting, because I did the same thing. I looked him up, and it's like it's based. I couldn't find a person that he's based on, but I couldn't find, like, in the film, they have archival footage that they sort of lead you to believe is the real Dr. Strauss.
Right.
But I couldn't confirm whether he was a real person or not. Usually you can find an article that says, "Oh, he's a fake person that's loosely based." But I couldn't even find that. It just
To be fair, there's not a lot of articles about this movie. It was a small independent film. It barely had a theatrical run.
Well,
I
like
even looked
the Rotten Tomatoes, the 93%, that was an audience score because it doesn't have
a critic score. Yeah,
a critic score.
yeah.
So,
do you want to know what the box office was on this thing? Do you want to
please.
guess?
Guess
how much?
I don't remember it. I mean, it was $1 million.
Yeah, not even.
Okay.
It has made just over $2,500 in the box office.
Get out. $2,500.
That is from Box Office Mojo, and by the numbers, those are both two of the main tracking sites out there. Yeah.
So it's like $200. 200 people saw this.
Yeah, and when they say a theatrical run, here I'm going to pull up the numbers right there so everyone can see them. There they are on Box Office Mojo. Internationally, worldwide, $2,552. When they say a theatrical run, that literally could mean it was in one theater, which kind of that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, it probably was in 2 or 3 theaters in the LA area, for like, a weekend.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. It also went straight to VOD. We don't have the VOD numbers, and I could not find a budget on this film. I don't think the budget was very high.
Yeah, I can tell you that if you hadn't have suggested a review of this, I probably never would have seen this.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thriller, not really my jam, but I watched the whole thing. It was interesting. I was entertained. I'll never watch it again. I
me either.
You probably won't either, but if you like psychological thrillers, I definitely recommend it.
I generally like these kinds of films, like these, like based on a true story, maybe some sort of government or some type of like legal case, that kind of vein, that kind of thriller. I do typically like every now and then.
Yeah.
But this film, it's a simple story, right? It starts out with Dr. Strauss is running experiments at a mental institution, and his funding is going to get cut. And he meets a CIA agent who says, "Hey, we'll give you all the funding you want. Just come work for us."
Right.
And he rejects it. Then eventually he takes up the deal, and he starts getting all this funding. And it's dealing that deal with the devil, and it doesn't go quite the way he wants. And the ending is very weird. I don't want to spoil the ending, but. If somebody were to do what he does at the end of the movie, there's no way he'd be walking around free.
No. Yeah. I mean, I can see a world where he walks around free because they want to cover it up. He's either walking around free
for like a month or two, and then he would get
or
caught.
he magically disappears.
Yes.
It's not even clear about what his fate was at the end. Because
I thought they were going to do some twist where they had been drugging him the entire time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That I thought would have been cool, but it's a very weird movie. It's interesting to see Anson Mount in a completely different character. Not this character is the antithesis of Captain Pike, whereas Pike is like confident and suave. He has
not
the
a drug
whiz,
user,
as the kids say.
Yeah.
This character is like the complete opposite. Just unsure of himself, nervous, timid. It's very weird to see Mount like that. It's also weird to see him chain smoking like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And smoking other funny cigarettes too.
That's right. And engaging in all sorts of weird sexual activity.
Yes, there was some weird sexual activity.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, even actor Jason Patrick was in the film. Jason Patrick had been in a lot of movies back in the day. He was in another thriller that I really enjoyed, Narco, or Narcs back in the day.
Okay.
He was some other film that was in the box office recently. The director and writer of this film, Joseph Sorrentino, is a former ex-intelligence officer. So he's got a background in this, which is kind of interesting. He's become a filmmaker since. He's got a handful of movies out there. Apparently this whole film takes place in Mississippi. I don't remember them saying that, but
There was a crawl across the screen. There was a thing across the screen that said something, a mental hospital, psychiatric hospital, Mississippi, 1961.
yeah, okay.
Which, Mississippi in 1961 is kind of gives a bad vibe to begin with.
Right, that's true. That's true.
I mean,
yeah. It's a short film. It's only like 98 minutes.
mhm.
According to the Wikipedia, the film was originally called Midnight Climax, but then they changed it to MKUltra. Yeah.
Either one are disturbing. Yeah, MKUltra. The reason why it's called MKUltra is that's the name of the or the.
That was the name of the program that the CIA was.
Okay,
running.
the program. Yeah, the CIA program.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you want to go researching MKUltra on the internet, good luck.
Good. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, you're gonna have all sorts of tinfoil hat fun.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask Dan to get some Space Force expertise. Maybe he can dig something up.
I don't know if he could. I mean, it'd be all redacted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Section 31 of Space Force will not like that.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
my theory is that Dan is Section 31 of Space Force.
That's true. That makes sense. That's
I'm
why he's
probably
not
gonna get
here.
a knock
He's
at
always
the
watching.
door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's it was neat to see a Star Trek actor in something else at least.
Sure.
But, yeah.
Sure.
Maybe one of these days we'll watch The Green Room with Patrick Stewart and Anton Yelchin. I don't know if you've ever seen that one.
I've heard of it. I've never watched.
Yeah, that's the one where Patrick Stewart plays a neo-Nazi.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be weird.
It's a really crazy film, but yeah.
It's that there's a reason why a lot of actors play either bad guys or good guys.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of see them. I don't want to see Patrick Stewart as a bad guy. I don't want to see Jonathan Frakes as a bad guy.
Right.
Because I love these actors because of the characters they play.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
But yeah.
But yeah, so that was the movie. I will say, just kind of give people, might as well a little bit. We do have a plan for the next few episodes, so
Okay.
might as well tease that. So
lay it
next
out.
week, next week we will be covering the new Ghostbusters movie, Frozen Empire. The week after that, we will be doing our Star Trek Discovery season 5 prediction show, and then after that, it'll be all Discovery during the run of that show. So just want to let people know what's kind of in store, since we have a plan and not just like, oh, we'll figure it out later. Yeah. So that is the plan.
Hopefully it works out. I mean, Paramount Plus had a plan too, so.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Can you imagine if in the middle of Discovery they're like, we're going to split it up. The rest will come out in October.
Yeah.
Like 6 weeks in. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I could see that happening.
Well, I'm sure, in a week or two, we'll be able to review Section 31 that's going to come out, right?
No, they're shooting it now.
Oh, they are shooting it now.
They're shooting
like I said,
it
I'll
now.
believe it when I see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is that going to be a movie, a series? That they've been kind of back and forthy on that, haven't they? Like, is it going to be a full series?
No, it's a TV movie.
TV movie. Okay.
Yeah, it is 100% just a TV movie. But I don't know if that means like, is it a 3-hour movie? Is it a 2-hour movie? I don't know.
Is it part 1, 2, and 3 of a movie?
Right.
Yeah. What exactly are they going to be doing here?
Yeah.
Because one of the I think I was talking to my wife and son about Stranger Things, and like the last season of Stranger Things was like a couple of 2-hour episodes, put together. So
yeah,
who knows what
well, now all
Paramount
those kids
Plus
are like 35 years old and have kids of their own. And,
right? Yeah.
It's gonna be really tough to do that next season. Yeah.
And as you go on in seasons too, Millie Bobby Brown commanded maybe like $100,000 an episode during season 1, and now she's ridiculously famous. And
well, yeah, and she keeps working with Netflix, so they love her.
Yeah.
So they want to keep.
Well,
her happy.
Enola Holmes movies were really good. I really like those.
Oh, I
where
haven't
she
seen
plays.
those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she Millie Bobby Brown plays Enola Holmes, the the little sister or the niece. I think it's little sister of Sherlock Holmes, and it's on Netflix. They're really fun movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I may have
So
to check
yeah,
those out.
check them out.
I caught so when Prodigy was on the air, I got up to 4 episodes and then I stopped. So I caught up to the 5th episode and I've stopped.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Prodigy was fun, obviously geared towards kids, but
Yep.
it had just enough. It's Star Trek, which was
Yeah.
enough to keep me, engaged long
Right.
enough, to watch the whole thing. And
Yeah.
season 2's coming out.
Yep.
So
Eventually, at some point.
so they say,
Well, allegedly it's in the can. So
I hope so.
yeah.
But that doesn't mean that it's coming out.
No. Netflix bought it, so at some point
Okay.
Netflix did it.
Okay, but we have seen projects that were filmed, edited, and then
Right.
oh, by the way, this is never going to see the light of day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Well, let's get to feedback. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Listener feedback.
All right. So I wanted to share this for feedback. I posted this meme a few days ago. It's for those of you listening. It is a picture of the Star Trek Enterprise just being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
It's an inside shot of the bridge. Picard and Riker and Worf are all just sparks everywhere, and the ship is in danger.
They're being shaken.
Yeah, it's shaken, not stirred for sure.
Yeah.
And the quote is, or the caption is, caption this with the last text you sent. And we had some pretty good ones.
Uh-huh.
So this is from the Instagram account. One person wrote, just waiting on the last 2 drinks as everyone's dying. Another person wrote, I only got 4 hours of sleep, but yeah, I'll be fine driving home. Yeah. Another one was,
That's
I'm
great.
not in the effing mood today.
That's
Yeah.
great.
My favorite one, though, came from our Threads account. And somebody with that picture posted, sweet, I don't have to go to the meeting tomorrow.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I just thought I'd share this. We got Chazbiz on the line, so let's bring him on. There he is. Oh, he's wearing his hat. Hey.
Yep. I got my
I will
hat.
not
I will
talk
not
about
talk about Dune. Love it.
Nice.
This is Star Trek only, guys. Star Trek.
That's
only.
right. That's right. So, did you watch MKUltra?
I started it last night,
Yeah.
and then I woke up and it was over.
Nice. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to the
I
first
wonder where that
part, and then,
93% came from.
I don't know, somebody
People
paid
who
them
are
off.
into psychological thrillers, like,
If you
Or
go on
people who
IMDb,
worked on the film.
the
But even
rating's
though-
a lot lower.
yeah,
So-
I don't know where that 93% came from. My wife likes that genre movie, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to bed. This is boring.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I'll try to watch
well.
it this week, maybe like bits and pieces, but I really did. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
So
I think if
tried
I
to-
want to see Anson Mount and something else, I'll watch the Britney Spears movie. He was in that too.
or
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Crossroads. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
Crossroads.
was in that. Yeah.
Yep,
you can see him be at Black Bolt and not say a word. So
Oh,
that's
jeez.
right. Yep.
And then what else was he in? Was it Hell on Wheels? Was that the
Yeah,
show
he was in
was
Hell on
on?
Wheels for a long time.
Yeah. So if you want
Yeah.
to see him in other shows, when is
Yeah, my wife
got the
agrees.
wife
She's
on
like,
there.
yep,
Yep.
it was boring.
Have they
Oh man,
began
we
production
may have to review Crossroads. It's got not only Anson Mount, but it's got Zoe Saldana as
Zoe
well.
Saldana. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a connection.
There's
Well,
a connection.
And it's 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon right now.
Oh
so.
boy.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Do you
gotta
guys
have
think we
make
should
a
interview
connection.
or review Crossroads at some point?
Okay. Before you decide that, I think
I
you
mean,
should wait until the
Desiree's saying
numbers
yup.
for this. Yeah, my wife says yup. I think you should
Yep.
review the numbers for this Trekcast episode and then
Yeah.
decide if you want to review Crossroads.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I think after
So-
Discovery, Crossroads could be nice palate cleanser.
Do you
Yeah.
think more people have listened to this episode than seen MKUltra?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, probably.
Probably.
Probably. I wonder if they'll get the Trekcast bump. Maybe like
It's
3 or 4
yeah,
people
all you
will
guys need is the $2,300 for the box
Yeah.
office.
The
And, or
beat
They'll get the
counters
26.
on Amazon Prime are like, why
Yeah.
did 12 people watch this movie in the last week?
Yeah.
let's make a sequel.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, our box office is now 2,700. How did we get there?
Right.
It's gone up 50%.
Hey, yep. That's the Trekcast bump, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
there you go. There you go. That's awesome.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So,
But next week Ghostbusters, and then after that Discovery.
Yeah,
So,
I think that'll bring us
can we
back on
make a
track.
connection to Ghostbusters and Star Trek? Like, which character would be connected to?
I feel
Star
like there's
Trek?
had to have been some sort of crossover.
I know. I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, who? And
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, there's been a lot of
Ghostbusters.
comic book crossovers with Star Trek,
Yeah.
yeah.
X-Men.
But no, I'm talking about actors that acted in Star
Or,
Trek
yeah,
that are
actors,
connected to Ghostbusters.
I don't know, but that just made me think Paul Rudd needs to show up on Lower Decks.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey,
he'd
he
be
was probably an
great in Lower
extra in
Decks.
the 90s. Who knows?
Yeah.
That guy's been everywhere. So
I wonder if Paul Rudd ever did like a background Starfleet officer in like Deep Space Nine,
I can still see him doing
Voyager. or
Oh,
even
if he
Next
did, those clips would be all over.
that. Yeah, it'd
That's
be on
true.
there with
That's
his
true, yeah.
uniform on and everything. So,
Yeah, if the lead singer or drummer, or whoever from
Rage Against the Machine,
Rage Against the
yeah.
Machine showed up in Voyager. Yeah.
yeah.
Tom Malero.
And then
yeah.
Fleetwood
Mhm.
Mac was all covered in, what was he, the fish guy on that one episode?
Oh
Was
yeah.
season one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
all
right.
covered in makeup. You wouldn't even know it's him.
Right.
And
Right.
you got Iggy Pop that dies.
Was
So,
it what the King of Jordan is in one episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can picture
I
his
think
face,
it'd be
but I
cool to
can't
buy your way
remember
on
what
there.
episode he was in.
Yeah. TNG, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a bunch on TNG, more than probably any of the others.
Yeah.
You think on
Quick
DS9
trivia
would be-
fact: who was the only person in Star Trek to ever play himself?
Oh, was it
Hawking?
Stephen Hawkins?
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
right.
say Albert Einstein on there, or what's his name, Mark Twain.
That's right.
Yeah.
They went back in time, guys.
They went back in time
Really
and
went back in
got
time.
Sam Clemens. Said, "Hey,
Yeah.
we need you to do something for us."
That is Mark Twain.
That is my favorite portrayal of Sam Clemens on TV or a movie.
Oh, for sure.
Well, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
guys.
He's such a dick, dude. Just running around causing problems.
Yes.
A
the
werewolf.
whole time.
Yeah. I know people like that who think they constantly know better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know they kind of made him an ass. Did you see
Yeah.
the Star Trek cruise where people like there was a big
Yeah,
group
several
of them
people
that-
dressed up as
Yes.
Samuel Clemens.
Yes.
That's a pretty good bit. That's a
Yes.
pretty good bit.
Oh boy.
I did see that they have officially released an officially licensed Moopsie just recently.
Oh really?
So
You
you
gonna
can
buy
all
it?
stop buying your knockoff Moopsies.
Yeah,
Hey, that
like
would
mine.
be a good popcorn
Yeah,
bucket.
You're not
is
getting
a-
my Moopsie.
is a
You hear that,
Moopsie
Paramount?
popcorn bucket.
Would you say, Jasmine?
A Moopsie popcorn bucket.
That's no. You put your hand in there, it'll drink your bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a triple one, you get hair in your popcorn. So
Oh
No.
yeah, you don't want that. Nobody wants that.
No.
Nobody wants Harry
Yeah, let's
popcorn.
stick to the shuttlecraft.
That's right.
or
Yeah,
you
we'll
can
make
have
one out of
Spock's
the
head and
Elbaz.
you're eating Spock's brain. So
No.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's a good
No.
idea.
No. I
Uh,
don't want that at all.
that's the
I
hardest.
did
thing.
find that apparently in a Star Trek comic book, they didn't like cross over with the Ghostbusters, but they made a ghost catching trap in one of the comic books.
Oh, really?
So
oh, Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ghost Trap is going to be the bucket.
Well, one's Ecto 1. I think.
Yeah, there's a few different buckets.
Yeah, there's like not everybody after the. I can't talk about it after that one movie.
Oh, that's not the only one,
popcorn
man.
buckets. So.
Yeah. Each theater chain pretty much gets their own bucket. So, yeah.
So, mine's just a Kleenex holder right now. So.
Uh-huh.
That's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's not what it's holding.
Mm-hmm.
No. Nice. Anything else you want to bring up, Chazbiz?
Next week, you guys are doing Ghostbusters, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
And the bad thing is I won't be here. I might be here, but I might be on the road to feedback because my wife is making me see Sleepless in Seattle at 11 a.m. next week. So.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And I'm like, damn it, why do I have to wake up so early to... like, I kind of want to see Ghostbusters.
So they're doing like Sleepless in Seattle in the theater?
Yeah, it's like a brunch thing.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Okay. You have alcohol, and I'm like, I don't drink in the morning. I'll drag ass all day. So
that could be fun.
But it's a Sunday, right?
It's earlier this week. I went to my buddy's 40th birthday party. They had rented out a movie theater, and we watched the original Planet of the Apes, the 1968.
Oh,
I think it
yeah,
is.
that's right.
Oh,
yeah,
I bet that was awesome.
Remember you talking about that?
Yeah, man, I guess I realized I had never seen the movie all the way through. I'd only seen some clips. Yeah, and man, that movie, it's weird, man.
Yeah,
Charlton Heston totally overacting.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I almost feel bad for
Get your filthy hands off me, you damn dirty ape.
Yeah.
Just
all that.
Some of the other lines too, like when they travel through time and they go further into the future, they have a female astronaut with them, and she dies in time travel.
Yeah.
And then he like later says at one point, he's like, yeah, she was supposed to be our Eve, and we were gonna reproduce and repopulate with her. Like, that's why you brought her on board? What?
Yeah, obviously she's not a scientist. Don't be silly.
Well, the funny thing is, what? There's 3 of them and then 1 of her. Wouldn't it make sense to have more women if you're going to repopulate the 3 guys?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was like, it should be opposite.
Well, apparently that's not what they were thinking.
No.
Like,
no.
If you're going to
I think in their minds it was more like choo-choo train.
You need more women. So.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just messed up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, though. I mean, it's really good.
I did like when there was a scene where 2 apes kiss, and because it's bad makeup from back then. I mean, it looks great, but
it's 68. So you
got the little mouth cones. Yeah, they just smush against each other, and you could just like visibly see it.
Did they tongue? So
no, it wasn't that kind of film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It was cool to see it in the theater we went to in Spokane. It's called the Garland. It's a complete like Art Deco style, like from the 1940s. And so
that sounds cool.
Yeah. So it was neat to see it in that kind of setting. But
yeah, last week I saw it was like Pulp Fiction. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's in my top 10.
Mine too. Yeah, I love Pulp Fiction.
This year's the 30-year anniversary or something like this.
Oh, is it?
Is it really? Wow.
Yes, came out in '94.
Oh man.
And like a bunch of the theaters are showing it.
Thanks a lot for making me feel so old.
I know,
right?
But the movie's so great. It's like that is a movie that all you need is dialogue and just listen to them talk, and what they're saying is hilarious. You know,
that's true. Yeah, it's a good film.
And it has a Star Trek connection because Honey Bunny played on Picard last year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Well, now
we can
we got a Star Trek connection. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yes, let's review Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it'll be great.
It's an awesome movie.
Do podcasts? You can make a warning on the podcast, like adult content or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Parental advisory sticker on the podcast.
Because you can't review it without using the F word at least 47 times.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And they use other words at that time a lot. more.
Yeah.
We'll have to drink our $5 milkshakes when we review it.
Oh, the $5 milkshake. I better be a good milkshake,
And a tasty burger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that McRoyale with cheese?
Yeah,
Royale
McRoyale cheese. Yeah.
That's such a great.
Now I'm going to Paris next month. I'm going to see if that's really true.
Oh, yeah.
To McDonald's.
Do
Find
it.
out if it's the Royale with cheese.
I was just watching a CNBC article about how fast food has taken over France, American fast food. And outside of the U.S., France is the #1 country for buying fast food.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, they love our fast food. But one of the big differences is France has got like strict rules about like preservatives in food. So like their fast food is a lot higher quality than ours.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why it just tastes better.
So you couldn't leave like a bucket of McDonald's fries on the shelf for 10 years and they wouldn't change, type of thing.
Correct. Theirs would go bad after a few days. Yeah.
Ty says, their food is so pretentious.
Yeah, but they love our KFC. They love our McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, McDonald's I think is like the #1, and then right after that is Burger King. Like it's pretty crazy. Yeah.
I'll have to try it.
So Chazbiz, are you gonna take a picture? You gotta take a picture of yourself in front of the Eiffel Tower with your Trekcast hat on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so you want me to take my hat there?
Yeah, take your hat.
You gotta take your hat and we'll post it on the Facebook group.
That's right.
The Eiffel Tower.
They'll think you're part of the German
will have
Trekcast because it's closer over there.
I guess I'll have to wear it on the flight. So
yeah.
My wife's like, "We got to pack light." And I'm like, "What do you mean? We're going."
Yeah.
Because if you take the train,
I'm thinking about the cruise. I want to take my Trekcast shirt on the cruise when we go in
Oh
June.
yeah,
so
that's awesome.
I got to buy a Trekcast shirt.
Yeah,
I might do that.
There's a few new shirt styles on the website. I haven't mentioned that, but yeah.
Oh really?
Got a few new designs. Yeah.
Yeah, I ordered the Trekcast motorcycle vest patch, and I got
yeah.
I got that in. I still have to put that on the vest, but
right on.
When I do, I'll take a picture of it.
Okay. Anything else, Chazbiz, at this point?
When's the Trekcast flamethrower coming out?
Oof. It's not a flamethrower because a flamethrower is illegal to sell, but you can say not a flamethrower and then it's fine. Just like this.
Not a flamethrower. Yeah, bug remover or
this
ice melter.
Is not a flamethrower. Yeah. Yeah.
Trekcast the lunchbox.
Yeah.
Trekcast the cereal.
Right.
So.
I bought a friend of mine a lightsaber, and all it is just a giant lighter that shoots out a giant flame.
But, oh wow!
Yeah.
What'd you guys try to burn with it?
Well, it took us forever to find the right kind of fluid to put in it, but.
Oh really? Yeah. You had to. It's a special fluid, so.
It's a special type of butane that like the spigot for it is very specific. So we had to go to multiple stores to get it. Yeah. Yeah. It's just regular butane.
You're going running around the woods, like, trying to burn down trees.
Let's burn
deer,
a Coke can.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
Well, he's really into grilling, so I got it for him to light up his grill. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I told him, what's cooler than I'm going to barbecue, but I'm going to barbecue with my lightsaber. So.
That's
right.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh.
Usually, those little electric ones that have the little sparks or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Don't light your fireplace with one of those, or especially if you have gas, they'll kind of explode in your face.
That could be problems.
So
duly noted.
I tried that the first time and singed my leg hair.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would bet.
Oh no.
I think you got away lucky with that then. Yeah.
Yeah. I
was
so
like, not doing that again. Learn my lesson.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Right. Well, thanks for being on, Chazbiz.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye. Well, yeah. As we're wrapping up, for those of you who want to leave us a phone number or phone voicemail, give us a call, 570-661-0001. That will be our voicemail line. You can leave us a voicemail. If you keep it under 2 minutes, I can animate you and you can be a fun little character. So
yes, please do that, everyone. Leave us a voicemail. We want to hear from you. Just whatever.
Yeah, and of course we're on social media. We're pretty much everywhere you could think of. So yeah, like and subscribe. That really helps us. Just get it out there. But yeah, that's anything else you want to bring up, Stronger?
Yeah, the as far as like check out Trekcast.com. There's some bios about the three of us. There's some show notes and things like that. Links to social media. There's a merch section if you want to help out the show and you just want to look really, really groovy. Check out the merch section. There's T-shirts and things like that, hats and all that. Daniel's sporting the Trekcast beanie, so I've got a Trekcast T-shirt and a vest patch. So check it out. And like you were saying, just to put a point on what you were saying about liking and subscribing, that really helps out the algorithm. The more people that subscribe and like and the Facebook and the Instagram and the
YouTube
and YouTube and stuff like that, that really helps out. So please do that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire and then Star Trek after that.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. See you later.
See you later.
This is Captain Benjamin Sisko of Deep Space Nine and Space God to the Bajorans. I have a mission for you. This falls outside of Starfleet guidelines, so I can't order you, but I'm asking for volunteers. Volunteers who will subscribe to the Trekcast YouTube channel, leave 5-star reviews on your podcast app of choice, and share Trekcast across your social media accounts. If we can make our audience bigger, we might have a chance against the Dominion. Are you ready? Subscribe, like, and share. Are you with me?